everybody, some would say I'm the reverse, and welcome to my review for The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 3, also known as Chapter 11. Again, just like always, I'm not going to give away the title, just to avoid any spoilers. Let's start with my spoiler-free review. This episode... This episode was amazing. This episode was undeniably one of the best of the entire show so far. I am kind of undecisive on where it ranks, but it's definitely better than last week's. But I can't decide whether it's better than Chapter 9 yet, since I love Chapter 9 a lot. But this one, I just don't know. It's a really hard decision for me, and I'm probably not gonna be able to decide this video. I'm probably gonna have to think about it for at least a few days because this episode was insane. So just without giving away too much, any of you guys that are watching that were worried about this season not having a plot yet. We had 2 filler episodes to start off the season. Those worries are, they're thrown out the window. This episode progressed the season-long storyline. Okay, I'm done with my spoiler-free review. I just can't talk about this episode without spoiling stuff. It progressed the plot, and it was amazing. So let's get into my spoiler review, starting with the title. Chapter 11, the Heiress, or the Heiress. I'm pretty sure it's the Heiress because Heiress is, like heir, like, say, a king's son is the heir. It's the Heiress, female version. So I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Heiress. But, oh my goodness. So let's just start from the beginning. We start the episode, Mando, Frog Lady, and Baby Yoda are limping to Trask, and, they are crashing through the atmosphere and stuff, and, they manage to stabilize themselves. They land on the platform, but, the engine goes berserk, and they end up tipping into the water, and so they're in the water. Their ship gets pulled out of the water and stuff, and we get to see a bunch of Quarren and Mon Cala everywhere, and it's just a really cool Easter egg fest, and I loved it. And then there's a lot to get through in this episode, so I'm just gonna fly through these small details. So if I'm going fast, it's because I got a lot to talk about later on. So Frog Lady finds her husband. They regroup, and then Mando looks over. He sees this lady looking at him, Sasha Banks, obviously, and she's looking at him from the distance. Some people walk in front of her. She disappears. We've seen this in the trailers. The theories, the rumors were sparking all over the place, and I'll just tell you, none of them are true, and I'll get to that later though. So Mando goes with the frogs to the inn, basically this restaurant, looking for the Mandalorians that were here, that he's heard of. He talks to basically the waiter and asks, are there any Mandalorians here? And he directs Mando to a Quarren who knows where the Mandos are, and he says, come with me. It's only a few hours, like a sail trip, They are on this sailboat, even though it's not really a sailboat at all. There's no sails or anything. They're just on a fisherman's boat, basically. And this Quarren asks him, do you want to see how, I forgot what the monster's name is, eats? They open up the bottom hatch, and Mando and Baby Yoda, they peer over the edge, and the Quarren knocks Baby Yoda into the water, and this huge monster comes up and basically eats the child. He's in his pram, he's in his little cradle thing, so it's fine. but he eats the child basically, and Mando dives into the water trying to get him, and then they lock him out of the boat, and he flies up and he's trapped under the boat. He's drowning, and they did all this for his Beskar, similar to Gor Koresh from Chapter 9. So they did all this for his Beskar. He's trapped under there. They betrayed him, and then out of nowhere, some Mandalorians come by, and they fuck the shit out of some crap, and it's Bo-Katan. It's Bo-Katan Kryze from the Clone Wars, and some more Mandalorians, and yeah. Me and I already know so many other people, so many other Star Wars nerds across the globe had a nerdgasm, and I was jumping out of my seat. Honestly, my reaction to Bo-Katan was even bigger than my reaction to Boba Fett, and I was so excited to see them, and I just can't stop smiling. If you guys couldn't tell just by the sound of my voice. They show up, they save him, they open the hatch, he comes out, and one of them dives in to get the child. They come out and they save him and stuff, and yeah. So we got Bo-Katan, this other dude, and Sasha Banks' character. They are just random Mandalorians. Everyone was saying, Sasha Banks is Sabine. She wasn't Sabine, and yeah. So, just two random Mandalorians with them, and they take off their helmets. And Mando is like, you're not a Mandalorian. You're not a real Mandalorian. How did you get the armor and stuff? And not Sabine, excuse me. Bo-Katan explains, this armor has been in my family for 3 generations. I'm Bo-Katan Kryze, of Clan Kryze, and she explains the whole helmet thing, which has been a huge kind of continuity error per se. In the community, and basically she explains that Din is part of the Watch, which is this clan of Mandalorians that they left the main Mandalorian. It's just a tribe that's kind of left the main group of Mandalorians. They are very religious. They're zealots. They want to return to the ancient way. This is the way. So that explains everything. It clears it up. A very interesting, very cool explanation to why Din and the other Mandalorians that we've seen can't remove their helmets, because they are, old ancient zealots, religious clan of the Mandalorians. I really like that explanation, and yeah. So yeah. Bo-Katan in live action, played by Katie Sackhoff. It was great. I had a nerdgasm, and I was just having a great time. So yeah, basically she agrees to help him find the Jedi and everything. They blow up the ship, and Mando kind of leaves them behind. He doesn't really associate with them for now. He goes back to the main city, the main port area, and he gets jumped by a bunch of Korran, who said, "You killed my brothers," which were the Korrans on the boat. And then Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians, they show up. They said, "No, I killed your brothers." And then, bing bang boom, they killed all the Korrans, and yeah, she basically gave him a proposition. You help us. You help us get this Imperial cargo ship that has a bunch of weapons. You help us, get it, and yeah, I'll bring you to the Jedi. And he agrees. He brings Baby Yoda back to the frogs, and he goes up with them. They jetpack up there. There's a big fight with some stormtroopers, and we have some Imperial officers and stuff. And yeah. So, really cool segments in this fight sequence. We got Bo-Katan using her built-in blade. I don't know if it's a vibro blade or not. It didn't seem to be vibrating, so I think it's just a normal blade built into her gauntlet. Pretty cool. And really cool moment. The Imperial officer is like, shut all the doors, close them all. All the doors close, and the Mandalorians basically open the cargo bay and suck all the stormtroopers into the atmosphere, or into the sky, and they eventually plummeted and definitely went splat on the water because they were probably thousands of feet up. So yeah, they did that. They went into the cargo bay, and Bo-Katan revealed to Din and the Imperials that they're not just jettisoning all these weapons. They're not trying to steal all these weapons. They're actually just trying to steal a whole ship. So yeah, and then the Imperial officer, he calls up Moff Gideon. The first time we've seen Gideon this season. I'm really excited that we get to see him, even if it is just a hologram. We see him. He explains that if the ship's already too far gone, this Imperial officer was asking for a fleet. Moff Gideon says if the ship's already too far gone, you know what to do. The dude pulls out a blaster. They said long live the Empire. He pulls out a blaster. He shoots the other two guys in the cockpit, takes control, and he starts plummeting the ship down into the water, towards the planet's surface. He's trying to sink the ship so the Mandalorians can't steal it. And basically, the Mandalorians now have to fight their way to the bridge. They're met with a big group of stormtroopers that are guarding them. They have heavy repeating blasters, and Mando basically sacrifices himself. He runs up, he takes a bunch of hits on his Beskar, and he throws 2 grenades in there. He blows them up. Really cool explosion, and then they go into the bridge, and Mando and another one of the Mandalorians, they try to stabilize the ship as Bo-Katan interrogates the Imperial officer, saying, where is it? Where is it? I want it. And he says, where is what? She's asking for the Darksaber because she wants to rule Mandalore again. And so she's asking for the Darksaber, which is obviously awesome because it was stolen from her, apparently, during the Purge by Moff Gideon, so she wants it. Basically, she said that I'm going to let you live as long as you bring me to him, speaking of Gideon. And he says, you're going to let me live, but he's not. And then he bites down on the Star Wars equivalent of a cyanide tooth, a cyanide capsule. Basically, instead of like a poison, it electrocutes him. So he bites down on it, and it electrocutes him. Really cool effect, and he dies. So he killed himself. And the Mandos are able to save the ship, So basically, Mando has a mission. He has to get the foundling. He has to get Baby Yoda back and everything. And Bo-Katan tells him, she gives him the information. She tells him, go to this city on this planet. It's a new planet, I believe. Or if it's in Legends, I haven't experienced it. I don't know if it's a new planet or not. She tells him, go to this city on this forest moon of blank. I can't remember what the name of it is, but eventually, through rewatches and analysis, I've only seen the episode once. Through rewatches and analysis, I'll remember the names and stuff. She tells him the Jedi is here. Go there. You'll find Ahsoka Tano. Name dropped Ahsoka. We're getting Ahsoka. 100% confirmed. It was obviously rumored that we'd be getting Ahsoka, and honestly, I'm glad that they name dropped Ahsoka before she showed up, because I was really kind of triggered before the season aired that it was leaked that she'd show up, because it would ruin the surprise. But I'm glad that they name dropped her, so even if it wasn't leaked, the surprise would have already, she would have already been name dropped beforehand. So I am kind of happy about that. Mando kind of skydives off the ship and meets up with the frogs and Yoda and Baby Yoda again, and he goes in there to pick Baby Yoda up, and one of the frogs is hatched. I thought this was a really sweet moment. Obviously, last week, the child was eating the eggs, which sparked a huge Twitter controversy. If you guys haven't seen that, don't even worry about it. It's just some stupid controversy about Baby Yoda eating, this lady's last eggs. It was stupid. But that was all put to rest with this really cute moment when they were showing the child their newborn frog. And, Mando shows up and he picks Baby Yoda up, and he can't separate the child from the frog because the child is in love with it. And I thought that was a really cute, really nice moment. And, makes up for all those soccer moms on Twitter complaining about him eating the eggs. It makes up for it. And I thought it was a really cool way to end off the frog lady and the frog husband's arc. Just their storyline. Their side characters, we're probably not going to see them ever again. But, the frog lady needed her eggs to be transported. And that happened. They had their baby. Their whole mission succeeded. And they're on the only moon that is hospitable to their species. So it's all well and good. I think that's a really cool way to end off the story of their characters. And I think it's a really cool way to wrap up their relationship, the eggs relationship with Baby Yoda. I thought that was a really cool moment. So yeah, they go back to the ship in which Mando paid Mon Cala to fix it up, get it running, and it's still in pretty crappy condition. They made a little bit of a joke about it, how Mando's like, Mon Calamaris are ridiculous, unbelievable. The ship is just, it's filled with like vines and crap, and there's netting all over, and it's in pretty bad, it's in a pretty bad place. And then we got this like little moment. It felt kind of weird. There was like this starfish crawling around the cockpit. They spent a little bit too long on it crawling around. I thought it was gonna go somewhere, but it didn't. It was just a little bit of a gag that ran on a little bit too long. It felt a little weird, but it was fine. Basically, what happened was there was a what do you call it? Like this starfish creature thingy crawling around, and he was about to jump on Baby Yoda, and Mando just caught it without even looking, which was badass. And then, cuts back. He's eating it, and Mando says, I finally know where we're going. And they fly out into space, jump to hyperspace, and So the episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. I wasn't really sure on who directed it. I believe, obviously Dave Filoni's directing one of them. I believe it's episode 5. Carl Weathers is directing next week's episode, I believe. We also have, I believe, maybe one more with Jon Favreau. We also have one with Rick Famuyiwa, and I believe his name is Robert Rodriguez. I'm not familiar with his work. I've only seen his name pop up because he's directing an episode of the season. So yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard directed this one. Definitely much better than her episode last season, by like miles better. Not to say her episode last season was bad, but this one was just crazy. It was insane. It was balls to the wall action and awesome Star Wars fan moments. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars, I can guarantee you had a fun time watching this episode. So yeah, we got Moff Gideon for the first time this season. We got a live action Bo-Katan, which was insane. We got the whole helmet thing, clarified. We got Darksaber and Ahsoka name dropped in this episode. It's such a crazy episode, and it pertained to the main story, big time. So yeah. Wow, this episode was insane. Again, I don't know where it ranks, honestly. I think I might prefer it over Chapter 9, but that might just be because, it's new. I just watched it. It's still fresh in my mind. It might be that, but I don't know. It was a great episode nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. Stay tuned for all my future reviews. Tell me in the comments what you thought of the episode. Do you like or dislike all these fan favorite characters being introduced into The Mandalorian? I personally love it. I was a little bit hesitant when the season started. I don't want Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan in here, but it seems they're setting up some really awesome shit. So I'm really excited, and I'm leaning, I've completely swerved into the area that, I love these fan favorite characters coming in here, and I had such a blast with this episode and Bo-Katan and everything. So yeah. Also, tell me in the comments your theories. Where is Mando going? Where did he speed off to? At the end of the episode, is he going to this forest planet to find Ahsoka right away, or is he going to Navarro? Because in an interview, we know that Carl Weathers is directing episode 4 of this season, which is next week's episode. We also know that Grief Karga himself will be in that episode. So that means we're going to be making a stop at Navarro, because that's where Grief Karga is. So what's going on? Are we going to Navarro first, or are we going to I forgot what the planet is called, but are we going to meet Ahsoka? Probably not, because Ahsoka's in episode 5. At least that's the leading theory, because that's Dave Filoni's episode. So yeah. Tell me what you thought about the episode. I loved it. I adore this episode. I'm going to watch it multiple times just to catch everything. And yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed my review. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See ya.